They're the hottest team in the West. Lakers and Celtics, need we say more? Tip-off is coming up at 5:30 over on ABC. The Lakers will go for a season sweep of their arch rivals. Who doesn't love that? So we say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by the Hall of Famer, big game James Windhorst.
Wow.
Our Laker Insider, Mike Bresnahan. What is this look?
Death stare right there.
I feel like he needs a one-shot.
1,000-yard stare.
How are you feeling, big game?
That's my game face right there. That's the face I used to have when I was going up against the Celtics, man. No smile, ready to go. Game face.
I felt
Game
it.
face.
You know what time it is? It's time to get that Celtic ass.
I love
Yes,
when we
it
don't
is.
even have to set that up. It's just in you.
Okay, show's over. Let's go to the game.
I know, right? I need to go to bed. A look at the Lakers by the numbers. Let's check it out as they prepare to begin a tough 4-game road trip today in Boston. They're second in the West at 40-21. They've won 8 straight, including 12 straight wins versus opponents over 500. They're a game over 500 on the road, and they've got the best defensive rating since February 10th. So coming off a great 6-game homestand, big game, riding this 8-game win streak. Obviously, during that homestand, we talked a lot about it, their ability to win games in a variety of ways. But the way in which they won that game, specifically against the Knicks on Thursday, how big is that as you now look to transfer that?
That was a big game. It was a grind. You're without a couple players. Rui's out. Reeves just coming back. You're not really in his, regular mode yet. And the Knicks are a good team. Unfortunately, they lost Bronson down the stretch, but even so, that was a game where they had been playing well. And when you've won games in a row, sometimes you win 6 or 7 in a row, and you're like, okay, well, we're playing against a good Knicks team. We're going to lose one eventually. I don't think they took that attitude, especially at home, especially before going out on the road. LeBron, Luka, and the supporting cast. I can't say enough about what Vanderbilt and Smith bring to this team defensively. I mean, just collectively, when you have that in the locker room, Jemison, everybody's happy, and everyone's talking, and everyone's supportive, and sometimes that's just enough to lift you up enough to win games.
James, Allie, I was fortunate enough to be at that game covering it, and it was unbelievable. The vibe in the building, the way the Lakers came back, being down almost 10, going into the fourth quarter. Not like that's an insurmountable lead in today's NBA, but just the moment by moment, bit by bit, they kept clawing back into it. And the fans started getting more and more into it. Rarely, Allie, you've been here for 7 years now, right? Mm-hmm. But rarely over the years, right? That went real quickly.
Really?
Rarely over the years do you see the lower bowl standing for like an entire quarter. And I felt like that was a deal at the game the other night, and the overtime period too, of course. Pure excitement. One of the Lakers staffers, as he was leaving the Laker locker room that night, he said, I felt like a playoff game in March. And he nailed it. It really was a fun environment. This team's really having a good time, and they're winning. And they're beating good teams. Remember earlier in the season that we kept saying, yeah, they're doing well, but they can't beat the teams over 500?
Yep.
As you can see, that's no longer an issue.
Yeah, a lot going on down there on Thursday night. None bigger than the game, in my humble opinion, depending on where you look. Having said that, so now this new challenge, this 4-game road trip that they are starting tonight in Boston. Big game. Can you take those winning ways from home to the road? 3 of their next 4 opponents are versus true title contenders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they won enough road games. Brand's probably got that stat in his head, but they won enough road games, I think, to be secure being on the road. And, they beat some good teams, beating Denver. You see what he did today? He's the first player to get 30, 20. I hate to bring it up. I just couldn't.
It's an NBA history.
I couldn't leave that. I couldn't be the only one.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, they can transfer because play is play. It's nice being at home, but when you're a team, you have to know how to play on the road as well, and I think they have to capture that. And so I think the way they've been playing on the floor, I think right now the way Redick has been messaging to the team what we need to do night in and night out, I think they can take that on the road. When they get in between the lines, it's all even.
To me, 2 marks of a championship contender, James. How are you on the second night of a back-to-back? Mm-hmm. They're good in that this year, 6-2. Last time I checked, that shows depth and talent when you can win after a grueling game the night before? And also, how are you on the road? And they're getting better. You know, they're a little over 500 on the road. You're not going to find anyone who's 35-6 away from home. That doesn't happen. But if they can get up to, 22 wins before the season ends, 24 wins maybe on the road, that would be progress, especially with, as you hinted, Allie, you got Brooklyn coming up in a few days, and you've got Milwaukee and Denver to end this 4-game road trip. So you're starting with a tough one tonight. Boston favored by about 7. And you don't want to say Brooklyn's a cakewalk ever. No. You don't say that in today's NBA about anyone. But then Milwaukee and Denver back-to-back towards the end of next week. It's crazy.
Big test.
Yeah.
Yep. Lakers 15-14 on the road this season. As we get you live to Boston. Lakers reporter Mike Trudell is first on the floor, as always. Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, welcome to Boston. Quite a buzz in the building, as you would expect, with how hot the Lakers are and how well the Celtics have been playing. And of course, it's just Lakers Celtics. I don't need to tell you guys in the studio what that means. Now, one piece of news that we did get today, it started with Jackson Hayes being downgraded to doubtful, and then he was ruled out a little bit before we spoke to JJ Redick. So that was the first question, just how good Jackson has been lately, one of the key players in that win over the Knicks, and how do they plan on filling in around him. So here's the head coach, JJ Redick.
Don't think it's anything serious. We've just been monitoring his swelling and his, just mobility, but he'll be out tonight, and hopefully he's back soon.
Do you want to share how you're going to fill that spot?
I don't.
Okay, keeping your cards close today. What did you see in that first Celtics matchup, and with some things being different now, of course, no AD, you've got Luka, a little bit different personnel, but what did you see in that game that you think transfers forward today?
I thought, we want to limit their threes. They still took 41. You're not gonna completely limit them, and they don't have a lot of guys that you can be in heavy shifts off of. So I thought our individual defense and the type of shots that we were willing to live with was a big thing in game one in terms of how we stopped them. And then we were just very organized offensively and attacked who and where we wanted to and got good stuff.
JJ, it's only been 10 games, but we haven't seen many ball screening actions directly with Luka and LeBron in terms of like a two-man action. Is that something you think organically has to happen, or is that something that, you guys aren't interested in trying to manufacture?
I think we're good right now.
You covered the finals last year when the Celtics had some success against Luka when he was on the Mavericks. Was that source material at all for you as you prep for tonight and putting Luka in the best chance to succeed? And is there anything you can share to us about the things that they were able to do against him that you had to account for tonight?